Sampling theory used in audio has been stationary with the theory that was developed 50 years ago. Although we can increase sample rates to get a better sound, the sound quality does go up, but it only goes up a small amount. And the sort of a good analogy to this is you could think about if we had polluted water, we could make it cleaner by pouring lots and lots of clean water in. But actually the right thing to do is to filter it and make it clean, and then we don't have to make it bigger to do it. And so MQA was really about realizing we're not going to solve the problem this way. We have to take a rethink about how sound is changed into digital. The big breakthrough for us came in the last 15 years, if you like. When I started, all the thinking was around psychoacoustics, and it was psychoacoustics and that kind of thinking that brought many of the methods and much of the thinking that's used in studios today. It brought us the concepts behind MP3 and AAC. But neuroscientists took a very different view of how we try to understand how people can hear, and instead of measuring humans with frequencies and whistles and tones and noises, we use the sounds of nature, the sounds of the real world. And the neuroscientists have shown us that when you examine how our hearing works in this context, you get a much deeper understanding of the bits that are important. One of the fundamental things about MQA that I think it's important to realize is, although we talk about psychoacoustics and we talk about neuroscience, we're not using it to throw away parts of the sound. You know, some audio coding methods do that. They try to decide what it is you can't hear. We absolutely don't believe that. Human hearing is so sensitive, so incredibly acute, you can't mess with the sound. The question that we're answering is, what are the parts of the sound that it's really important to defend and protect and to deliver? Even in the wood, if there's a twig snap, the sound doesn't reach us once. It bounces off the leaves, it bounces off the trees. There's reverberation even in the outside world. And with a lot of the music that we listen to, or the sounds that we listen to when we come to the studio, the sounds are never heard once, they're heard several times. The problem with the way that digital is recorded is that this timing information gets blurred. It gets smeared, so we're not sure how far away things are, we're not sure how big they are, we're not sure exactly when they stop and start. So it's just not natural, and you may not even be aware of that. And with MQA, none of that happens. Everything's in its place, and it sounds natural, and you don't even think about it. So we could take a recording that was originally made at 176 or 352 kilohertz, 24-bit. We fold it up into something that's 4424. It's bigger than a CD, but it's that sort of file. And it'll play anywhere. You can put that file in iTunes, you can play it in your car, you can put it on the phone, you can play it on your computer. It'll play anywhere, and you hear it, and you're going to hear, because of the way we folded it, you hear something better than CD, even without a decoder. This is the brilliant thing about it. It means that it's immediately accessible. It's highly convenient. You don't have to have anything to hear the music on an MQA file. You'll get it better than CD. But if you have a decoder, it unwraps it right back up to be exactly, bit for bit, accurate to what was heard in the studio and what was signed off in the studio. So the file is like a chameleon. MQA is a revolutionary new technology that comes from a passion for music. It comes from an understanding of how we hear. It takes advantage of a lot of work that's been done in the last 20 years on neuroscience and sampling. And to do that, we've put it together into a form that makes a set of studio tools, an encoder, and a decoder that you can have in your phone or in your house that delivers the real thing. It's the first opportunity to have the authentic sound of the studio actually delivered, and for you to know you've got it and to enjoy it. And we believe that when you hear more, when you get the details of the sound, you enjoy it more.